Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. In the name of Allah, the Compassionate and the Merciful. I'm Advocate Zahir Shah and you're watching my YouTube channel. If you have seen my first two videos, you can recall that we have discussed in our first two videos some very important segments of Code of Criminal Procedure. My first video discusses and encompasses all the important provisions which come into play while trial is being conducted and is concluded, and in my second video I discussed the concept of appeal and its contours and the kinds of appeal, and I also made a bleak reference of Code of Criminal Procedures, very important provision, that is revision, criminal revision, right? So today we are going to discuss criminal revision. Well, my practicing lawyers, my brothers, they know that concept of revision has baffled so many judicial minds, the bar and the bench, and there has been a debate ever since, and much public time has been consumed in order to decipher and decode this concept of why criminal revision, what is this criminal revision, where it is to be filed, Well, we will try to reply all these queries in this vlog, and why criminal revision, and we would like to trace some historical references, if there are any, try to trace out the history of criminal revision in this vlog. Well, peeping into the chapters of history, you would gather a very important fact that British legal system or English legal system owes a lot to Roman law. In Roman law there was no concept of criminal revision. There was a concept of trial and appeal, right? Appeal was introduced at the later part of the day in their judicial system. There was no concept of appeal. It was only magistrate trial, and that's all. When the state realized to intervene into the human affairs, the affairs of the magistrate, interfering into the verdicts rendered by the magistrate, it introduced the concept of appeal. So from where the criminal revision has emerged, I have studied different things in order to understand this concept, and I've inferred while reading the chapters of history that human civilization evolved from agriculture code to the industrial code. In that period there are so many things which have developed. Human affairs got more and more complicated, right? Since human affairs got more and more complicated, so was the criminal or the civil trial, so was the case with the legal systems as well. And legislature perhaps realized at some point of time that there should be some enabling or additional provisions of law which should exist in order to purge the trial, purify the trial, filter the trial from the impurities or illegalities. Therefore, this provision called the revision provision was introduced on the civil and the criminal side in order to rectify the errors which are committed or may be committed by the trial court. But today, revision has developed more. It really serves both the purposes, right? It is used as a filter as long as you employ it during the trial. It is serving the purpose of an appeal. When you prefer and file it, and when it is clubbed with the appeal and revision, when are both clubbed at the appellate stage, revision serves the purpose of an appeal, right? So it's a hybrid provision, you can say. It serves both the purposes. Why? Because legal system is not a watertight compartment. It's not a blind alley. It develops, it sprouts like a tree grows, its branches grow, it enhances in its magnitude, right, in order to cater the needs and the challenges of everyday life. So criminal revision or the civil revision was introduced into the body of code at the later part of the day. Originally there was a concept of a trial and appeal. Now There are 4 sections of law in our Code of Criminal Procedure which deal with the criminal review given in chapter 32 of Code of Criminal Procedure. Section 435, section 436, section 439 and section 439A. So my dear viewers, only 4 sections of law have to be understood, and the criminal review is in your pocket, right? You can understand. Section 435, it says that High Court or Court of Session, being an appellate court, who have got the power to check the illegalities and irregularities committed by the lower fora, can call for the record, can requisition for the record of the court subordinate to it, falling within its territorial jurisdiction, to see as to whether any proceeding, order or a judgment or a sentence recorded is according to law or not. Section 435. Its subsection 1 says that while doing so, while requisitioning the record and seeing the health of a decision, court could suspend the operations of any order or a sentence which has been given by the lower fora. Section 436 says that court could order for the further inquiry while seized with the criminal review. Exactly, it is the same, almost the same what the powers of the appellate court are. Same, the powers of appeal, further inquiry, recording of more evidence, Section 439 is very important. It actually bestows upon the High Court the powers. It has enumerated the powers of section 423, 426, 427, 428 and 338, which are given to the court of appeal, are also given here. So that's why I called it a hybrid provision. And this section of law further discusses that in criminal review the court can enhance the sentence. In appeal the sentence cannot be enhanced. Here sentence can be enhanced, but there is some limit. Say if the court has exercised its power in order to check the illegalities of its lower fora, and that forum happens to be the forum of magistrate first class, and the appellate court, revisional court, wants to enhance the sentence while doing the interference, then it can enhance the sentence in a limited way. How? If the magistrate first class has got the power to inflict the sentence of say 14 years, then appellate court seized with the review will not enhance the sentence more than 14 years, right? यानी जितनी मैजिस्ट्रेट की पावर है ना मैक्सिमम पनिशमेंट इन्फ्लिक्ट करने की, अगर उसने आधी सज़ा दी है और हाई कोर्ट या नेक्स्ट कोर्ट जो भी है वो उसको इंटरफेयर करके इन्हेंस करना चाहता है, तो इन्हेंसमेंट जितनी सज़ा उस जज की देने की पावर है उससे ज़्यादा नहीं होगी. आई होप माई पॉइंट इज़ क्लियर. And further it is discussed in this section of law that court cannot convert acquittal into conviction. क्यों? कि 417 सेक्शन इसको इंडिपेंडेंटली डील कर रही है कोड ऑफ क्रिमिनल प्रोसीजर में अपील अगेंस्ट एक्विटल को. दैट्स वाई क्रिमिनल रिव्यू इज़ नॉट for that purpose. So hope my point is clear. And section 439A says the same powers are bestowed upon the sessions court. Now I would like to make a comparison, appeal and review. For appeal you have to file an appeal, you have to draft it, present it to the office. In terms of criminal review, while discussing appeal, court could see illegality committed by the trial court or court subordinate to it can itself take suo motu action, no need to file it. If it comes into the knowledge, you bring into the knowledge of the court that this is illegality committed, court would itself take an action. No need to be an aggrieved person in that strict sense of an appeal. And for criminal review, you have to only see that court has properly exercised jurisdiction vested in it, or has not exercised the jurisdiction which was vested in it. Hope my point is very much clear over here. I would like to upload my separate video while making a comparison between the appeal and the revision in a tabular form, right? So hope you have liked my video. If you have liked my video, like my channel and do comment and subscribe it, and at the comment section drop your comments for my learning. Thank you very much indeed. Assalamu alaikum.